Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا ثُمَّ عَرَضَهُمْ عَلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ. Then it says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, again speaking of the story, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told all the angels to bow down to Adam, when he told all of the malaika that he's going to create this vicegerent, this Adam. And even though they said, well, he's going to do facade, he's going to kill, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, man, I know what it is that you know not. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, again, continuing in these ayahs of chapter 2, verse 30 through 39, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا ثُمَّ عَرَضَهُمْ عَلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ. Then it said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught Adam alayhi salam all the names of everything. وَعَلَّمَ, there goes that word again, allama, from ilm. Allah continuously taught Adam alayhi salam the names of all things. So the name of everything, whether it's the chair, whether it's a hat, whether it's the color blue, whether it's the color yellow, whether it's to stand or to sit, the dog, the cat, the rat, all of these names of everything, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught Adam alayhi salam the names of all things. Right? And then he turned them to the malaika. وَقَالَ أَنْبِئُونِي بِأَسْمَاءِ هَؤُلَاءِ إِن كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Then he said, and he turned the malaika to these things, all of these things that he had taught Adam alayhi salam the names of all of these things. Now he told the angels, turn to these things and tell me the names of all of these things. He just taught Adam alayhi salam all of the names of everything. Now he's asking the angels, well, now you tell me the names of all of these things. The angel said, قَالُوا سُبْحَانَكَ لَا عِلْمَ لَنَا إِلَّا مَا عَلَّمْتَنَا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْعَلِيمُ الْحَكِيمُ. So it said that the angel said, قَالُوا سُبْحَانَكَ, glory be to you. لَا عِلْمَ لَنَا, we have no ilm. We have no knowledge. إِلَّا مَا عَلَّمْتَنَا, except the knowledge that you teach us. إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْعَلِيمُ الْحَكِيمُ. Really, you are Al-Alim, you are the one that has possession of all knowledge, and Al-Hakim, you are the most wise. So again, in this ayah, all knowledge is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the angels didn't even know the names of all of the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had created. He didn't even teach them the names. But it said that he taught Adam alayhi salam the names of all things. So again, showing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in control of all things, and that all knowledge is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If he doesn't possess you with knowledge, then you won't have knowledge. Again, he is Al-Alim. All knowledge comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you have knowledge, then you say, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. We're told in Hadith that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that when there's someone that has knowledge, there's always someone more knowledgeable than him. Then there's also somebody more knowledgeable than him. Then someone more knowledgeable than him, and then it goes all the way back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because he's the possessor of all knowledge. So all knowledge comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you have knowledge, it's not for you to become arrogant or haughty because you have that knowledge. You should be of those that are thankful and say, Alhamdulillah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me with this knowledge, because Allah is Al-Alim. All knowledge comes from him. So if he gave you that knowledge, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And if he gave you that knowledge, understand it's a test, because surely with the knowledge that you have, you'll be tested with it, what you did with it, how you practice it, and what you did with it. The more knowledge that you have, the more you'll be tested, and the more that you'll be questioned about what you did with that knowledge. Okay? That's why I said when you gain knowledge, you memorize the knowledge, you practice the knowledge, you apply the knowledge, right? Then you share the knowledge. But it goes in that order. Learn the knowledge, memorize the knowledge, apply the knowledge, practice the knowledge, then tell somebody else about that knowledge. Okay? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has knowledge of all things. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, A'udhu billahi min shaitan rajim. قَالَ يَا آدَمُ أَنْبِئْهُمْ بِأَسْمَائِهِمْ. Then it says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, O Adam, now tell them the names of all of these things. Tell them their names. Right? After the angels couldn't tell the names, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, now watch this. Adam, tell them the names of all of these things. فَلَمَّا أَنْبَأَهُمْ بِأَسْمَائِهِمْ قال ألم أقل لكم إني أعلم غيب السماوات والأرض وأعلم ما تبدون وما كنتم تكتمون. And then it said that when he told them all of the names, when Adam alayhi salam told them all of the names, then he tells them, didn't I tell you, right, that I have knowledge? Didn't I tell you that I have knowledge of all of the unseen of the heavens and the earth, and I have the knowledge. I am the one that has the most knowledge of what it is that you allow to be seen, and I have knowledge as to the things that you try to conceal. I have knowledge of all of these things. So after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the angels, tell me the names of all of these things, they couldn't tell them the names of the things. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Adam, come here. Tell them the names of all of the things. It said, and when he told them the names, he said, man, didn't I tell you that it is me that has knowledge of the ghaib as-samawati wal ard? I have knowledge of the unseen of the heavens and the earth, and it is I that have knowledge of the things that you allow to be seen, and I have knowledge of the things that you try to conceal. There's nothing that you can conceal from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because he has knowledge of all of these things. And this is something that we talked about last week, of the hafidin and the katibin. He has those that are watchers over us and those that are recorders of us and everything that we do. These are the malaika. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, A'udhu billahi min shaitanir rajim. وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ. And when we said to the malaika, bow down to Adam. So again, Allah is telling us the story. And when we told the angels to bow down to Adam, فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ. Again, this is in chapter 2, verses 30 through 39. We talked about the other ayah, chapter 18, verse 50. Again, the story of Adam and Eve and Iblis and him not bowing down multiple times in the Quran. So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us again, when he told all the angels to bow down to Adam, he said they all bowed down, he said, Iblis, Abba wastakbara wa kana min al-kafirin. Abba wastakbara. He was those that refused, turned away, and was arrogant. Wa kana min al-kafirin. And he was the first of those who were of the disbelievers. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that we told Shaytaan or Azazeel to bow down before Adam and said that everybody bowed down. Illa Iblis Abba wastakbara wa kana min al-kafirin. He was of those who refused. He was haughty. Astakbara. He was of those that had kibr. He was arrogant. Wa kana min al-kafirin, and he was a disbeliever. Kibr, arrogance, is assimilated with kufr. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and again, kana min astakbara wa kana min al-kafirin. In this ayat, Allah used the word kibr. He was of the mustakbirin, astakbara. He was of those who had kibr. He was of those who had arrogance. Wa kana min al-kafirin, and he was of those who had kufr. He was of those who disbelieved. For this one disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah said that he was arrogant and he became a disbeliever by disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with one commandment. Now we don't know how long Shaytaan, or Azazeel, or Iblis, how long he was obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how long he was the Khalifa, how long he was favored by Allah, how long he was able to sit with the angels. But now all of a sudden, because of one disobedience, right? One episode in which he disobeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One moment in which he disobeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he became of those who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said he was arrogant and of the kafirin. Kibr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says through the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because everything that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said is wahyi, yuha, it is a revelation that's revealed to him. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in a hadith, those who have the Adam's weight of kibr in their heart. Kibr, arrogance. And this is equivalent to Shaytaan. When he disobeyed to Adam alayhi salam. Allah commanded him to do something. Instead of him saying, Sami'na wa ta'na, he says, Sami'na wa asayna. I hear you, but I disobey. I hear you, and I do what I want to do. Those who have Adam's weight of kibr in their hearts, Adam's weight. they won't even be able to smell paradise, even though its smell can be smelled 700 years away. So the Sahaba said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, some of us like to wear nice clothes. Some of us like to wear nice shoes. Is this kibr? Is this arrogance? He said, no. For one of the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Jamil. He's the most handsome. Right? He's the most fly, handsome. Right? There's nothing wrong with looking nice and wearing nice things. He said, but kibr is pertaining to the deen and the belittling of your brother or the belittling of your sister. The same way in the instance where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Shaytaan, do this, he said, I'm not doing that, I'm going to do what I want to do. This is kibr. So kibr is pertaining to, someone tells you, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, right? And you say, I don't care, I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't care about that. That's stupid. I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do. This is kibr. Right? I'm going to do what I want to do. Like Shaytaan, he did what he wanted to do. Now he's seen all of the glory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's seen Adam alayhi salam created. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded him to do something. He said, I'm not going to do it. He turned away, became arrogant, and he was of the kafirin. He was of the disbelievers. He's the first one to disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So again, we're told that when he disobeyed the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he turned from Azazeel to Iblis. And when he turned into Iblis, it was the sound of a bell. Ding, this is in the top series of Kathir. Ding, the sound of a bell. Okay, there's also hadith with regards to the bells and the wind and string instruments and whatnot. They call the jinn. Okay, that's why we don't listen to certain instruments, certain music that has wind or string instruments, bells and whatnot. They call the jinn. This is from hadith. Guitars, flutes, violins, harps, right? Flutes, all of these things, trumpets. These are the things that call the jinn. Bells, ding, ding, ding. These things called the jinn. Okay? So this is how Shaytaan became Iblis when he disobeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we're told that they were all told to bow down. They all bowed down except Iblis. He refused and became haughty. And he was a kafir. He was the first to disbelieve. We're also told that kibr, anyone that has kibr, they will not be able to even smell the scent of paradise, even though it can be smelled 700 years away. Right? And we're told that kibr is not to dress nice or to wear nice clothes or to have nice things. But kibr is pertaining to the deen, being those who are arrogant, pertaining to the deen, and those who belittle their brother or their sister. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, again in chapter 7, verse 12, right? Tafsir, the Quran explains itself. So you might have an ayat in this surah. You might have another ayat in another surah that's explaining a certain surah or a certain ayat in another place of the Quran. The Quran is the tafsir of the Quran. The Quran explains the Quran. Right? Tafsir comes from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Tafsir comes from the Sahabas. Tafsir comes from the Tabi'een. And tafsir also comes from the Quran. The Quran explains the Quran. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam explains the Quran. The Sahabas explain the Quran. And the Tabi'een explain the Quran. Right? These are the sources of tafsir. So chapter 7, verse 12, we're told Allah says that Allah said, and what prevented you from not prostrating when I commanded you? So Allah's talking to Shaytaan, what prevented you? What is it that prevented you from bowing down when I told you to bow down? It says, قَالَ أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِّنْ خَلَقَتَنِي مِنْ نَارٍ وَخَلَقَتَهُ مِنْ طِينٍ. Shaytaan said, I'm better than him. Right? This is the belittling. I'm better than him. Right? You created me from fire, right? And you created him from mud, from pain. So Shaytaan, the reason why he didn't bow down, he said, because you made me out of fire, I feel like I'm better than him. You made him out of mud. You made him out of dirt. What am I supposed to bow down to him for? I'm made out of fire. I can burn things. I can destroy things. I can fly. You made him out of mud, of black mud. I'm better than him. This is arrogance. See, to look down, to belittle your brother, to think that you're better than somebody just because of your makeup, or just because of the way that you look, or the way that you dress, or something that you have, or what the next person doesn't have. This is arrogance, or the belittling of your brother. So it said that Shaytaan, again, this is Dalil to show that Shaytaan was a jinn, because it said, you created me out of fire. So Shaytaan was made out of fire. You created him, who? Adam alayhi salam, out of teen. You created him out of clay. You created him out of mud. You created him out of dirt. Right? So again, Shaytaan was made out of fire, that red fire, proving he was a jinn.